conducted by David Tan. How much have you learned? And what have you learned from his presentation last month? Give that a very brief thought. Look at the ribbons. Best speaker, best evaluator, and best table topics. Do you find any consistency? Speaker is a person, evaluator is a person. Is this a person? And why isn't the word speaker over there rather than best table topics, meaning the speech, the topic speech? Think about that. So which should it be? Best speaker or best speech? Best evaluator or best evaluation? Best table topic speech or best table topic speaker? All of you get to vote afterwards. Whether you're a member, you're a guest, you're a new member or non-member. But do you know how to vote? It is not as simple as just getting a pen and write a person's name on the voting slip. Where's the voting slip? Is there a voting slip?
Yeah.
Behind this slip.
Now, how do you vote? Based on what criteria? Do you know? Or is it merely writing the name? The name of somebody you fancy, somebody who impressed you, the voice, the body language, or upstaging the speaker, or showing off. I'm sure you've seen many. And were you swayed and were you influenced by the dramatics, the theatrics, and the charismatics of the speaker? By speaker, I mean project speech speaker, evaluator, as well as table topics. Or is it the person's fluency, the person's looks, the person's eloquence, showmanship, the flair, the flamboyance, and the fluff? So what is it? Have we given that a thought? Do we just listen to the speech, the evaluation, the voice, the words? When you listen to the radio or audio tape, do you see the person, the body language? No. You only hear the voice and the words. For evaluation, how about the recommendations of the evaluator? The substance of the speech, or is it the form, which, the message? For project speech, we have the objectives, the requirements, as well as the guidelines. Do you know of Toastmasters Better Speakers series? And there is one module, evaluate to motivate. Go back, check. Somewhere, is it stated, evaluate the speech, not the person? Perhaps only for Project 5, body language, you evaluate the person. You need to see the facial expressions, the eye contact, gestures, stance, posture, speaking area. Perhaps only Project 5. So likewise, for evaluation, does the evaluator focus strictly on the objectives, the requirements, and the guidelines, and not swayed and influenced by anything else? So how focused is the evaluator? So many a time, I'm sure you have evaluate the speech evaluation, not the speaker, not the person, etc. except perhaps Project 5. Even for table topics. Is it an indication that you're the best when you get this ribbon? Is it an indication that you're the best by getting this? And likewise for this. And that's what I mean. Do you know how to vote? And that's the reason we have something useful for you on the reverse. The objectives to remind you how to vote, what to look out for, and not to vote blindly, swayed by the person. Oh, a nice guy image. You like the person, very popular. You vote for the person. So don't you think it's a contradiction? In the Better Speaker series, evaluate the speech. So you vote for the best evaluation, not the best evaluator. Now in my 20 years, I've not come across anybody who has written to TI to tell them that this discrepancy is a misnomer. Which is which? Is it a mistake? It's a big contradiction. Has anybody brought it up to TI, World Headquarters? I don't bother. So even the voting slips from TI, World Headquarters, there are mistakes, but not for me to point out today. America, they are the native speakers of the English language. They make such mistakes. Are they perfect? No way. Far from it. And do you realize, whether in this club or in other clubs, when the SAA goes around to collect the voting slips, has anybody ever collected from me? Hardly. Very rare that I vote. Unless the project speech is outstanding and the speech has met all the objectives. Nothing else. The requirements and the guidelines. And whether the evaluation also meets all this. And for table topics, if I vote, whether the speaker is really outstanding to fulfill two criteria, structure, as well as the topic has to be addressed. And that's what judges to look out for in table topics contest. You're not swayed, you're not influenced by dramatics, theatrics, and charismatics of the person. Unless the person is really deserving, only then do I vote. Now, I've been told many times that I'm very observant. Yes, I am, for a long time. And I also listen well. And for that, I fully agree. I have declined invitations from many clubs to be project evaluator. Even in this club, I will not accept any more invitation from the VPE. And even from Great Eastern Life. For a simple reason, the ribbon goes to the wrong person. Not necessarily, it must go to me. I've seen disappointments in the faces of the speaker, the evaluator. Justice is not done. The speaker has worked so hard to fulfill the objectives, for example, on body language. And that person didn't get voted for the best speech. Or even on vocal variety, use of the voice. So do we know how to vote? Seriously. So that's why it is very critical and crucial, very important for clubs to print the objectives of the speeches on the reverse, even for advanced project speeches. And many clubs would leave the reverse totally blank. For notes, that's what they say. Now, who else to be blamed? Many are not aware. Only when I am the general evaluator do I point out. The Toastmaster of the day is partly to be blamed. But sometimes the person is not to be blamed. Why? he or she is not being guided, not being mentored, not being told. Now, before the project speeches, you tell the audience that at the end of the project speeches, we are going to vote. How are we going to vote? You prompt the audience. Look at the reverse. And listen very carefully when I read out the objectives. Before project evaluation, likewise, you tell the audience, at the end of the evaluations, we are going to vote. Vote wisely according to objectives, requirements, and guidelines, not somebody you fancy. Remember, after each speech, after each evaluation. So it is the duty, it is the role of the Toastmaster of the day. And as I've said, for table topics, it's very crucial. You have only 2.5 minutes. 2 criteria. And you see all these in the judges' ballots, judges' requirements. How to select the person who is deserving. Structure and no deviation, no diversion from the topic. Yes, for those who know me, really know me, I get very angry, I get very upset, I get very pissed off when I am asked for advice. And then you tell me, oh, somebody else, my good friend from another club, tells us that you must amend the program. It should be best table topic, best evaluator, best speaker, and not best speech or best evaluation. Then don't ask me for any advice. Ask the person. If you don't value mine, don't bother. Because to me, this is very idiotic, very moronic, and very imbecilic. All the 3 words means idiots. So from now on, my dear friends, when you vote, vote wisely. And I wish David is here, because he stated too, don't evaluate the speaker. Except Project 5, you evaluate the speaker. All others, you evaluate the speech, prepared speech, speech evaluation, as well as the table topic speech. And if you like to, you can write to TI and ask them, why is there a contradiction? Better speaker series, evaluate to motivate, don't evaluate the speaker. Hence, we vote for the best speech, best evaluation speech, and best table topic speech. Over to you, Toastmaster.